Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today I'm here to take a look at the TicWatch Pro 3 GPS model. This is the brand new watch from Mobvoi. It's a fantastic alternative to the Samsung watches, and of course you can use this one on iOS, which means, bingo, you guessed it, iPhones, and you don't have to use an Apple Watch. It has a lot of great things it brings to the table. It's got GPS, it's got 3 days, 72 hours that you can use it in normal, like full feature mode, and then in the event that you need to go longer than that or you need the battery to last forever, you can do it in essential mode where it will work with just the basic functioning on the front like a digital smartwatch for 45 days, which is pretty incredible. But overall, I've enjoyed my experience so far. We're going to dive in, we're going to do the unboxing and first impressions. I've been using it for a week now, a whole week, because of course you can't really tell anyone how good a watch is after you've used it for a whopping 6 hours. So, been using this for a week. We're going to talk about it, and I'll let you know what I think. But before we get into all that, I do want to say if this is your first time stopping by the channel, I appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. Now let's talk about the TicWatch Pro 3 GPS. Really excited about this. I've been wanting to get my hands on one for a long time, even prior to this model, so I'm glad that they sent this out for me to review. $299, and it gives you a whole lot of stuff. It's improved over the last models. Of course, it's got the Snapdragon 4100 platform in here, Qualcomm Snapdragon Wear. Up to 3 days or 72 hours of battery life in smart mode, which means it runs like a smartwatch. You get all the cool applications, functions, and features, but it has what's referred to, it's got 2 different displays. So it has an LCD screen and then the AMOLED overlay, or however in the world it's set up. Basically, it'll work like a regular smartwatch, and then in the event that you activate it, you can turn on the AMOLED screen so you can get access to all the really cool stuff. Go ahead and use my handy dandy unboxing tool here. There we go. We're going to close this because safety. I've made it this far into 2020. I don't want to go out that way. Take this out of the box here so you can see what's going on while you listen to me run my mouth. Oop, there went the little card. Here we have the quick guide. Looks pretty nice. I've tried out a couple different Android watches over the years. Most of the Samsung ones, which are okay, but they never really feel like they're as smooth of a watch or as capable as an Apple Watch, which is one of my main complaints. So it's nice to see some competition here. Take this out. So, okay, it looks like it's wrapped around this. It's got the little foam wedge like you see when you go to the store and actually look at watches, if you did that back in the day. I happen to really like watches. So the advent of the smartwatch world has been really nice. I've got some Citizen watches, and yeah, that's great and all, but they're heavy, they're bulky. Having something that gives me lots of different capabilities, plus, is still a watch, is really, really nice. I'm going to take the plastic off the screen here. It looks and it feels nice. Go ahead and set this over here real quick, see what else is in the box. Got the proprietary charger here, which, let's see how that pops on. There we go. It goes on like that. Okay, so now that we got that figured out, it attaches on right there to charge. Let's fire it up. Which one's the power button? One of these has to be the power button. Usually it's the bottom right one, I think. Maybe not. Try the top one. There we go. The top one turns it on. So, really been excited about testing this out. Like I said, it's got all these great features here. Heart rate, stress and sleep tracking, if you want that in 2020. I kid. Blood oxygen saturation, so that's nice. It's the same thing that the new Apple Watch Series 6 will do. Go ahead and tap to begin. I mean, that seems pretty easy so far. It doesn't have a bezel that turns or anything crazy like that. It looks like just these 2 buttons here. It has a built-in speaker and microphone, so you can use it with the built-in Google Assistant, which is nice. That should work out pretty well. We'll swipe through this. Yep, totally read it 100%. All right, so now that we're done with the unboxing here, let's go ahead and move on to talking about the watch and some of my experience with it over the last week. Okay, first things first. It's a smartwatch. And it's a really nice smartwatch. It does a lot of cool things, which of course that's why you want one as opposed to picking up a regular watch. And watches have been around for a long time. They're kind of staples, especially out in the professional world, and anyone can really wear a watch. It's nice to know what time it is, but now in the age of smartwatches, to go with our smartphones, we can get text messages, we can get notifications, we get GPS, you can figure out what your oxygen saturation and your heart rate is on this thing. It's got GPS, so you can map your routes when you're out on your bike ride, and it'll last for up to 72 hours with all of the features running. And I've tested it out. It legitimately lasts for 3 days. I like that. I actually have an Apple Watch Series 6. I still can only get that thing through maybe a day and a half. Like, it's not even a 2-day watch. So I can see where in the market there is plenty of room to slide in for another company. It just doesn't happen to have the Apple name, and I think that that's okay. Having the Mobvoi TicWatch Pro 3, I think that you'll be pretty good. Here's another nice thing that you can do. In the event that you like to switch back and forth, let's say you like to use an iPhone part of the year, and then, you know what, a shiny new Android came out. You can use it with either ecosystem. You can use it with Android or Apple equally as well, and you don't have to worry about giving up on that or being locked into the ecosphere with Apple or with Android or with Samsung, because those are kind of the two leading watches in the industry. So anyway, that's just a kind of a gee whiz thing, but it works great. Nice functionality. Whenever you turn the wrist to and look at it, it activates and lights up, so that's nice. You can press any one of the buttons and it turns it into the AMOLED mode, so it likes to turn off when you move your wrist. But you can see there, it has all the functionality. You've got your apps, you've got your fitness stuff, you've got your fitness tracker. It tells you to get up and move around when you've been stationary for too long because it wants you to be healthy and go get your steps in. It has a pedometer in it, so it tells you how many steps you've taken in a day. You can have it where it checks your heart rate throughout the day, and you can look down and see when the last reading was, and it will tell you what it is. That's pretty nice. You can have it check your blood saturation. It can tell you about your sleep and your sleep pattern and the quality of sleep that you got. It's really nice. It's very, very functional, and it works. That's one thing that I like about it. I've tried lots of different Android watches over the years, and it's like, okay, when is it going to catch up to Apple? When is it going to catch up to Apple? When is it going to catch up to Apple? No watch is probably ever going to catch up to Apple because really it's like its own entity. I mean, it's like when you look at iPhone versus Android, they're completely different. The way we need to look at this is, does it meet my needs? Does it work? And does it give me what I need it? And does it look nice? And I think that this watch checks all those boxes. At least it does for me anyway. It's something that you can look at and go, wow, that looks nice. You can change the watch faces on it. So there's like tons and tons of watch faces. There's some apps. There's even some games on there if you really are a glutton for punishment. And not all of them are necessarily optimized that well. Like, it's got a calculator you can install. Well, because it's got this circle bezel on here, like, you can't even see the edges of the calculator, and it doesn't really hit where it's supposed to all the time. So I can't say it's necessarily as refined and as polished as I would like it to be in some areas, but the operating system itself is good. The features that are in it are good. Some of them are kind of like manual mode, though. It's not like when you have an Apple Watch and you go out and you walk for 15 minutes and it tells you, hey, are you out on a walk, or are you out on a run, or are you swimming? This one does allow you to start an exercise, and then it keeps track of your stuff while you're doing it, and then you have to stop it, which is fine, especially for $299. Now, it does have this really nice feature where basically it's two screens in one. It does have the regular baseline screen on here where you can see, you can put your hand on it and it turns the screen brightness off, but on here we've got the regular LCD readout, and then if you activate it or press the buttons, it goes into AMOLED mode, and then you get all the smart functions. So it's kind of like having a really nice digital watch that always shows you your pace count and always shows you the seconds and shows you all that good stuff, shows you the battery status. And then whenever you need to activate it, then it kicks in everything else. And that's what helps it get to that 72-hour mark. That's what allows you to 3 full days of functionality. And I think that it does a good job doing that. It has a proprietary charger, but that's kind of how things are. I mean, if you wanted to have a phone that had, if you wanted to have a watch that had a USB-C or a micro USB charger, the sucker would be that thick because they'd have to enable the connection inside of there. So they have a proprietary charger. It's got magnets on it. You can find it. It works just fine. It recharges it. It doesn't even take a long time to recharge. So this is a really good option, I think, for people who just want a nice smartwatch that works. It's also really good for a lot of the active features, especially if you want the GPS stuff where you don't want to have to carry your phone with you to map your routes. It has a really nice band on it. It's super comfortable. It's light, it's rubberized, but it still has the stitching in it, so it kind of looks like a little bit like a leather strap, but it's not. It doesn't have a bezel that you can move around. It just has the 2 buttons on the sides, which will allow you to do things. And it has Google Assistant built in, which is really nice. It's not like, hey, it's got to connect to the phone and use it. It has it built in. It even has Wi-Fi connectivity, so you can be connected to Wi-Fi. Don't even need to be connected to your phone at the time, and you can still get access to using your Google Assistant and getting updates, getting notifications. That's one of the things I like about it the most. I don't always have my phone in the same room with me. It may be on the other end of the house because I go out to my office and my garage a lot, which is where I work and I do my videos. So having the Wi-Fi connectivity, so I'm still getting my notifications on Twitter, I'm still getting my emails and all of those things, it's really nice that it does that. Also, very easy to use. You get the swipe interface on here, so you can swipe to get your notifications, to see your pre-installed apps that are on here. You can swipe to get to the settings. You can swipe over to get to the Google feed, so you can see some of the stuff there. It's just really nice. It's well thought out, and it's using the Qualcomm Snapdragon Android Wear 4100 platform. So it's very nice. It's very responsive. I've used other Android watches in the past, and I even had the Samsung Galaxy S3 Frontier. This one, it feels zippier, you get better battery life. It's just overall a better experience, I think, than some of the other Samsung ones. This one has NFC. You can use all your wireless payment stuff. You can use Google Pay, you can use whatever. Any one of those payment forms that uses NFC connection, you can do it straight from your watch. So this was very well thought out by Mobvoi when they made this. I think in the real world, it works well. I think that it's very functional. I think that it gives you, like 72 hours is really, really special in the watch world because most watches only last a day or 2. So this one takes you the distance, and then once it gets down to like 5%, it kicks over to essential mode anyway to drag you out and to make sure your watch is still working until you can charge it again. And up to 45 days in essential mode. I mean, ideally, you'll find a charger before then, but it works well. It's got a built-in speaker. It's also got a built-in microphone. You can answer your phone calls through here, which is nice. And also it's IP68 dust and water resistant, so you don't need to hesitate if you want to hop in the pool, you get extra sweaty on a bike ride, you stop off at a waterfall, whatever, this has you covered. So overall, I gotta say I'm really happy with it. I think that it works well. I think that it's a really good alternative to having a Samsung watch if you're on Samsung, and it's a really good alternative if you don't want an Apple Watch and you're on an iPhone. This is a nice, happy, balanced medium, and it checks all the boxes for me to where I'm happy with it. And it's comfortable. It's lightweight. It's not super fat and heavy, but it's still made out of nice composite materials, so you don't have to worry about whether you're going to mess it up or not, or whether it's going to break on you. It seems like it's made well. It's IP68 dust and water resistant, so it'll hold up to the elements, and it should work for a long time. And I'm looking forward to using it some more. So that's all I've got on my unboxing and my 1-week review of the TicWatch Pro 3 GPS. I plan on making a long-term review on it later and going more in depth into some of the stuff and just kind of touching on some of the finer points on the watch. But having used it for a week, I definitely give it 2 thumbs up. I very much enjoy this watch, and yeah, I think if you want one, you'll be happy with it. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.